Hello, everyone. Digital media editor Warren Frey here with you for the TCR Express. And my guest today is.
Angela Gismondi, staff writer with the Daily Commercial News.
And Angela's been pumping out a lot of content of late, like the rest of us. And one of the things she's been doing and is going to currently is the Good Roads Conference. So if you could tell us what's been going on at the conference, there's been a couple of announcements.
So for those who don't know, OGRA represents transportation and public works interests of municipalities. So there were quite a few politicians speaking both yesterday and today. So yesterday it was Caroline Mulroney, who is Ontario's Minister of Transportation. Today it was New Democratic Party leader Andrea Horwath and Minister of Infrastructure Laurie Scott. So they had a similar message, is that Ontario needs to keep building transportation infrastructure, and that despite the pandemic, they are moving ahead with projects, and that's going to continue for hopefully the remainder of 2021. They talked about accelerating projects, cutting red tape and getting that out of the way so that projects could go ahead faster and be built sooner.
And I assume this is virtual, like everything else is.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, since we have gone to enough virtual events, how's this one grade on the curve? Like P3 being the best one so far.
You know what? Some of these, the format is interesting because they'll have kind of a lineup of speakers, but some of the stuff is pre-recorded and some of it's live. Some of it they'll have certain sessions broken up. For this particular one, it's kind of an ongoing stream throughout the day, and then they have breakout sessions as well where you can go to different rooms. So it's you kind of have to get there at the exact right time before the presentation starts to get who you want to see, kind of thing. But no, it's pretty good overall. It's easy to navigate. And
so they've reproduced the tension of running from one conference room to another, which is something only we feel. Like everybody else is like, yeah, I'll get there when I get there, unless I'm a speaker. And we're like, oh God, I got to cover this thing now.
Exactly.
So now they just add a video game element to it, really.
They've done that effectively. So I feel like I'm there.
Great. And also last week you went to the Toronto Construction Association's big, I think it was the AGM, right?
It was the AGM.
And John Mollenhauer, CEO, had some things to say.
Yes, and he basically said that 2020 was a challenging year, like everyone else has said, but that 2021 is also going to be challenging, and that's because the effects of what happened in 2020 are going to be felt by the construction industry during this year. And he made some interesting points about construction being an essential service in Ontario throughout the pandemic and not being shut down, and that despite that, that they still need support from the government. So he was kind of calling on the government, saying, even though we've continued to work throughout this pandemic, we still need the support. In fact, they need it more now than they did before. So that was kind of interesting. They also presented the Best of the Best Awards, which is an event that I always go to in person. So that was virtual this year, obviously. And they honored some outstanding contractors and companies and individuals in the Toronto area, the Greater Toronto area, and the Donald P. Giffen Award, which is for outstanding achievement, I believe, that went to Ellis Don CEO Jeff Smith. So he was honored for bettering the industry just in general, a variety of initiatives that he's done over his career and over his time in the industry.
Okay, and another story that just came out, I think Monday or maybe today being Tuesday when we're recording this, was your Skilled Trades College of Canada story, where they're seeing a rise in enrollments because of the pandemic.
Yes, so I was talking to the president of the college there. It's a private career college located in Vaughan, just north of Toronto. And he was saying that they've got a couple of programs going right now. And, he basically told me, if you go in the back, there's, chefs, some bartenders, and people from the airline industry, and they're all there to retrain. They've lost their jobs during the pandemic. Some of the industries, have come back temporarily for the summer, but then shut down again. So it's on again, off again. And plus, it's just uncertain, and they weren't making the same amount of money that they were pre-pandemic. So they've decided to retrain for new careers in the skilled trades. So they've been really, really busy, and they've actually needed more space. And they moved to a new facility. They tripled their capacity, and now they're able to, put all the protocols in place for COVID and retrain these individuals for new jobs in a trades career.
Yeah, I'd assume they'd need more space also because they need to have social distance while these people are
That's
being
right.
trained, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And besides that stuff, you've got more stuff on the go coming next week. So what's coming up next week in terms of events and stuff you're covering?
Yeah, so this OGRA conference, there's a lot of stories coming out of that. So I'll have a bunch of those. There's actually something that's relevant for our readers. There was a panel featuring Mark Romoff from the Canadian Council for Public-Private Partnerships, Nadia Todorova with the Residential and Civil Alliance of Ontario, and Bruce Matthews with the Association of Consulting Engineering Companies of Ontario, I believe. And they spoke about some of the challenges, some of the opportunities for infrastructure and the construction sectors, business trends and factors that are impacting the sector, and how it'll impact municipal governments over the next year, I guess. So that's what I'll be working on in the next few days. So you can expect that next week.
Okay, great. Thanks, Angela. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Warren.